Hello and welcome back to Pandemic Playground with Dave. We are back with surviving as a trader, surviving in Mars. Well, maybe now surviving space. So let's get started. Alright, so we last left off with... Never know what's going on with this thing. So it is on depressurized. And when I open this door, I lose all the oxygen for some reason. I don't know what's going on with that, but we'll see how that kind of works out. But last we left off, we decided to land on the base that is near Europa. We want to head back to Mars eventually, which we should be doing very soon. But I kind of want to check out the store and the contract as well. So we're definitely going to buy some data pads to see if we could find new bases and new factions. And honestly, if we're gonna go with the factions and try to get these to be friendly, we might have to cheese it a little bit, because I don't think it's gonna make for a good video or entertainment if I slowly build up the rep for each and every one. That's gonna take hours and hours to do of the same things over and over again. I think the fastest way to get rep is through search contracts, where you can just do all of them at once and try to get to them as quickly as possible. So you get 10 rep each. But here you'll see 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. That's only 60 rep there. And you need, how many to get friendly with them? Let's just say if we started from neutral, we still need it up to 500 to get there. And we only have 276 for this specific place. So that's where things could go wrong. Alright, so I'm going to quickly go through our data pads to see what's there. It looks like the package we get to keep it for some reason. Sure. Alright, so what I gathered from the data pads, basically an ending in HI is a ship selling base. And we actually have one that's fairly close, 1800 away. Let's highlight that for now. And what else is there? IN is one, which we don't have. IV is one. This is 7800 away, so not going there. MA is another one, but we don't have any. MK looks like a few. 18 away, so we can highlight that one as well. SB we don't have, and WE we have 2. And they're fairly far away as well. So yeah, so going back to economy bases, there's 3 types. Ships selling economy bases is 1. 2 is ores and ingots. And 3 is components. And it all depends on the last 2 letters of the base name to figure out what that is. So the ones I just mentioned are ship selling ones. And the closest one is 1800 away. And we got kind of 2 of those. So we could go ahead and check that out, but let's see what we have here in acquisitions. So we have escorts, which we cannot do because we have no weapons to defend ourselves in case we get attacked. Hauling, looks like there's no more hauling left. And there's some repairs, which is going to be difficult to do, not knowing what I need and how far I'm going to travel. But I guess you're supposed to go ahead and check it out, see what they need, and then grab what you need in order to repair, I think. So we're going to come back to that eventually. And then we have search contracts. Search contracts in space. How easily can that be done? I mean, if we really had to, we could use our jump drive to get closer to them if we did need to do that. It would net us a decent amount of money. Let's say 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 search. There's 6 search contracts. Let's just say average 50 a piece. So about 120,000 credits just to do all 6 if I really get desperate to do that. But I don't think I am desperate to do that. So we're going to continue on with our traveling, our space hunting, I guess. Or space searching. I do want to edit the ship a little bit. And what kind of parking job is this? So yeah, I do want to edit the ship a little bit so it can fly a little bit better, I think. I think I'm gonna get rid of the atmospheric thrusters and trade it off just with the hydrogen, especially for upward thrust. I'm not too sure about forward thrust and backward thrust just yet, but definitely not necessary to have atmospheric thrusters unless we go planet hopping, which I highly doubt we're gonna do that anyways. All right, so it looks like, wow, our two base stations that were 18,000 kilometers away are actually on the Earth-like planet. And I'm pretty sure we were probably close to it at one point or another as well. So that's quite interesting. What else is there around here? I thought there was another kind of base that was close by to Mars in the just outside of the planet itself. Where is Mars? All I see is Europa, which is interesting. Probably behind it, if anything. Yeah, all I see is Europa and, well, oh, there's Mars. There you go. So I'm pretty sure there are stations on Mars that I can't really see too well. There's a few that's kind of like, should be some out in space, I think. Maybe that one, the VAL, but we've been there before, and ALs don't really net anything. I really do want to check out the ship selling ones, but again, that looks like it is on the Earth-like planet, so we're gonna have to travel all the way back there once again just to even get there. And I don't even know if we're friendly with them or not, which is a problem. So with the RVHIs and DVMKs, we don't have those listed here whatsoever, so I don't know if that's gonna be a problem or not. But okay, we're gonna head back to Mars really quick, and then maybe make our trip back on the Earth-like planet. Not ideal, but I think we're gonna end up doing that, and we're not gonna be able to afford anything. And plus, if we do buy something, how are we gonna bring it back? That's the biggest piece to the puzzle, I think. All right, so Mars, where are you? Do we wanna... Where is Mars? Up here. Do we want to check out any parts of Mars in terms of like different bases or economy bases that might be surrounding it? So should we travel to DVAL for any reasons? I mean, I don't think there's much to do there. We forgot to check. How much cargo do we even have here? We have 3 small cargo containers, so that's not too bad. Yes, my overdrive is on, so that's what's causing issues, but I just turned that off. I just realized I was just slowly floating to to Mars. We definitely want to get back to base, but I don't know what the easiest way to do that is. Where is base? Base is roughly right over there, I think. Yeah, somewhat in this direction, or around Mars, it seems. So I guess if we fly kind of this direction, we should be okay. We might have to fly a little bit above the surface a little bit, or fly throughout the surface to get back to base, which is not a bad thing, because then we can explore more economy bases if it exists. But there's a Mayday not too far away from here. I just can't really get myself to go there because, one, I don't have a survival kit in here, and two, I don't have any weapons except for my handheld weapons, so that gets a little dangerous. So we definitely need to upgrade the ship a little bit more to situate ourselves a little bit better in terms of what we could do with out in space. So we are now long distance traders and not just a Mars trading personnel now. So we're gonna make the best out of it as much as possible. And I think I did make it to DVAL station at one point or another, because that's the one that should be outside in space, and it's near the GCTC where I've been there as well. So not a lot of economy bases I found on the Mars planet itself, which is interesting. That's SPRT Mayday, and SPRT I am good with. I didn't see how far that distance was. Oh, right there. Well, there's a beacon here as well. Let's go to the beacon. 17 kilometers away. Let's just go there. I kind of want to check out the beacon. I think we are friendly with space pirates anyway, so might as well head there, see what's there, and try to reduce some of that rep anyways by maybe taking it down. But maybe we could do, that being I'm a trader at this point, we'll be salvagers once again. So, changing occupations as we go. And look at here. We actually get a RTWE beacon on Europa. It just popped up right there. So that's interesting. So we could definitely... Oh. I don't see it on my GPS, but I think we should be able to just head over there after this SPRT beacon, and that's a base, economy base. I didn't know they have SPRT economy bases. This is an interesting find, and we're pretty much completely friendly with them because of all the abandoned settlements kind of situation. So if we go to factions, space pirates, yeah, we're almost completely friendly with them. Did not know they actually had economy bases, and did not know I was that close to the base itself, and just pretty much collided with it. I am upside down against it, so interesting enough. Ow. This is a space pirate base. It's quite small, actually, so that's interesting. So in comparison to the ship, or my ship, it's like almost the same size. I guess my ship could basically be a beacon on its own. So that is really, really interesting. So just in comparison, they're just slightly bigger, the space pirate base, but wow. The ship is quite huge, and I could land it and connect it there, but I'm not going to. Ow. I'm just going a little crazy right now with this. Okay, I think that's gonna do. And I don't think I ever depressurized this whole thing while flying, so that wasn't smart. All right, with depressure, that's fine. All right, welcome to Space Pirate Base. Never done this before, so this is the first time. Look like we get to enter in the base, and let's see what's here. So we get greeted with a vending machine that sells pistols. Interesting. All right, so this is new for me, so I'm just gonna check out what's here. Looks like this is your quarters. I'm gonna steal all this. Why not? And they have some beds here, and looks like no money so far. Can't access that. We'll go to the next one. Ooh, they got some nice quarters. We'll take that. Ooh, there goes some money right there. 7K worth. What you have here, nothing, and kitchens. All right. Yeah, they got some pretty nice quarters here. It's pretty interesting. I like the design of this one. And, ooh, they got a jukebox, too. Look at that. They are set up quite well here. Huh. That's the vending machine. Another vending machine. That's quite interesting. Ooh, little control room. Can't do anything with that. All right, so here's the store. Here's contracts and then ATM and things like that. Okay, so other than that, what's up here? Can I even enter here? No. That's the kind of control, or is that the? I don't know. This is more like a ship than a base, I think, but because of the size of it, I don't know. It could be. All right, so if we go to the store, what are they selling? Data pads. I could use those data pads. I could buy it if I wanted to. What else are they selling? Not much interest. Ooh, meat. Okay, that might be interesting. But they only have one piece of meat for 450. Whatever. I'm just gonna buy it. It's like a rare commodity at this point. And that's pretty much all they sell, so it's nothing too crazy. I am curious about the data pads. I'm going to buy all the data pads. And I can't sell anything to them at all. Okay. Now contracts. Search contracts and escort contracts and things like that. Okay, that's not bad. Bounty is always on me for whatever reasons. Tons of escort missions, which again, don't have any weapons, so not likely to be something I could do now, and I will do it in the future. And it looks like this escorting mission, but I don't know where it's gonna escort to. And geez, 26,000 kilometers away. The 2-hour mission. Definitely not doing that. And some repair missions. Okay, so that's not too crazy. I don't think I would be doing any of these. Not for SPRT at least. But glad to know that I can get into the SPRT's base and kind of see what's there and loot it up. And potentially maybe even do missions. But that's going to drop all of the friendly bases. Or more friendly bases that we have here. So, yep. Our specialized drilling... what is that? So that's a freighter over there that spawned. All right, so I think what I kind of want to do now is get to that base, the RTWE beacon, which should sell ships, and it's not in Europa. It's actually outside of Europa, based on what I'm looking at right now. So this is actually working out pretty well. A lot of traveling though, but at least we get to go economy base hopping and see what they got. All right, we made it about a kilometer away. Let's just slow this thing down. And this looks to be fairly big. Well, hard to tell based on the bubble. All right, so we are in the bubble. Yeah, this was pretty big. Pretty big station, actually. Yeah, this is pretty cool. All right, do we want to... Oop, I keep hitting this a little too hard, but... Yeah, no place for me to really park this thing once again, so we're just gonna park it right here. Why not? It looks like the entrance is gonna be right around here. Wow, this is pretty cool. All right, so this is the RTWE beacon. Faction wise, we are in neutral, so we can just chill here a little bit. And here we go. So this is a nice little base with a bit of a kitchen, which is pretty cool. And all the contracts and stores right here, right on the left of the entrance. It's pretty convenient. Ooh, here we go. This is what we've been looking for. And honestly, I thought it was going to cost a little bit more. But again, we don't have a way to bring these back. So that's the bummer piece right this moment. But at least we have one that's not too far from Mars. So we can always look through these. So that's good. Yeah, scout ships. And we could purchase some of these too, which is interesting. But we could do... Ooh. Should our goal be something like these? Freighters. Mini merchants. Space pod. No picture. Interesting. Turtle miners. Interesting ships. Alright, so what's the most expensive one? The freighter. Should we make it a goal to try to get a freighter? I mean, that would be pretty interesting to do that. Unfortunately, I don't even know what type of thrusters it has, so it probably stays in space, or these are all space specific ones because the base is in space. I would think that's the case. It would suck if it did sell an atmospheric thruster ship in space, because that would make any sense at all. All right, so this is interesting. What about contracts? We have hauling, escorts, all the normal stuff as well, which is great. Okay, that's not too bad. I am gonna do a lot of the escorting just to see how that works. I do want to do more hauling, but the problem is I don't know if they're gonna send me to a friendly reputation area or not. And I guess we could cheese it with the what it was, Alt F10, and go to Alt F10, go to economy, change reputation, blah blah blah. So if we had to do something like that, I guess we could just do that. A bit cheesy, but I don't feel like sitting here and doing a ton of acquisitions and search contracts just to up the reps. So that might be the way to go. But I do really want to do some of these contracts that we haven't done before. I had never done them before at all. So would be interesting to see how that all kind of works. Looks like different levels to... Okay, this is the bathroom. Quite interesting. No doors for the bathroom. So, yeah. Ooh, some stuff to gather for gravel-like stuff. And there's another top area. And I'm pretty sure I have no access to this door, which is probably the control room. Nope. See, can't get inside. Awesome. All right. So cool little base. Little, big base. And we know this sells ships, which is awesome. So we didn't have to travel 1,800 kilometers away to get that rolling. So that's always a nice thing. So now we could definitely head back home if we need to. And we do need to. I should fit this thing with a survival kit or a medical room, just in case we do die. And I should have brought some coffee with us as well. Other than that, looking at our data pads from the SPRTs, this is all the stations from SPRTs, it looks like. So we create all these GPS markers. I'm pretty sure they're all probably far, far away. And who knows if any of them are going to sell actual ships too, because it looks like everything here says something different. So if we don't want to cheese it, we're stuck with SPRTs and yeah, and certain specific ones that we're neutral with. So I guess that's okay. Well, it's the hauling thing. I did read up on it. It sometimes does bring you to enemy territories for whatever reason. So it's quite interesting how that works. Yeah, I don't think any of these SPRTs will be selling any ships. Let's look at the SPRT stations. And yeah, most of them are quite far away. I am assuming 1800 is going to be planet Earth, or the Earth-like planet, and all these other ones are probably other planets as well. They really named them based on distance. So like this station should be 1877, blah blah, but oh well, whatever. I'm just name it like this because it's just easier. All right, so I saw something pop up before in terms of a base, but I'm not sure what that name was. I just actually Cheetah Camp, Cougar Camp, one of these. No idea where that is. It could have been on Europa. It's on Europa, I think. Yes, it is. Okay, so that spawned there. That's fine. All right, let's head back home so we can upgrade this ship just a tiny bit if we can. And retrofit it with certain things that we need. So what's that gonna look like? I'm not even sure. I think the first thing that we need to do is try our best to land on Mars without breaking anything. And I don't know, in the future, do we want to add a parachute on here just in case? Because that way it would be easier to just kind of land if we need to. So we could just get into the planet, just drop, and then launch our parachute at like what, maybe 2 kilometers, 1 kilometer away, and we have a nice little soft landing that way. I would hope, at least. Unfortunately, I'm in Europa's gravity well right now, but we should be getting out of that relatively soon. But yeah, heading back to Mars. All right, we're out of Europa's gravity, so we can kind of jump now if we want to. We can kind of get a blind jump going, so we could just get as close as possible to Mars, which I'm fine with that. So, can't jump into natural gravity field. Yeah, I know that. So, how far can we go? Let's just say we're only about 100 away. So, 100. How much we're far away from? 180. So if we're 180 away, so then I'm gonna say, can we do 170? Huh? That was by kilometers, but if you do it this way, I'm confused. By percentages. Okay, so that's not fun. All right, 160. That gonna work? Nope. Too close. All right, should be minus about 38, 40. So 130 is the furthest we could probably go on a jump. I think. Let's see. Nope. It needs to be less than that. 115. All right, can we do 2.8% will be 117. All right, that's good enough. Nope. Wow. You cannot. All right, so we. Oh wait. 170 is around the other side of the planet. So I don't even know how close we are to this specific area. Probably about 100. Instead of getting close to the surface, I mean, we could jump that way in front of us and not too far. That might solve our problem. We get a lot closer to where we want to be. So we could do, I guess we could do 3%. Why not? We'll point it this way and hopefully we don't go too far. Nope. We'll point it this way, this way, this way, that way. That seems like too far though. Oh wow. Very, very specific. All right, we're just gonna go 124 kilometers this way. Let's just see what happens. All right, we made the jump. Looks like we are getting friendly with the Imperial Makers as well. I don't know where that base is. Oh, right here, 5 kilometers. All right, let's just go there since we're here. The quick little base right next to us. Oh, no, that's private sale. Never mind. We're not going to do that. I thought that was the beacon. That was the maker. That was the beacon itself. All right, so we got to find our base here. Where's our base? Right there. So we got ourselves about 70 kilometers away from where we need to be. But that's not terrible. I don't think we'd jump any closer than where we are now, unless we point a little high away from here. But we still got to be like 40 kilometers away from the base itself. So I think if we point ourselves this way, we should be able to make our way there. All right, we're back close. Well, almost there. About a little less than 4 kilometers away. And it's good to be home, I guess. And I'm actually surprised by how much we've traveled. We went to the Earth-like planet and back to Mars with a full tank of hydrogen. And look how much we have left, even after coming back home. Still 70% of hydrogen. Power-wise, I think we're still good too, because if we're not utilizing any power, we have days of power left, especially in space. But right now, if I'm just hovering, it's about 4 hours. It's kind of bouncing it around. Here, this is 14 hours as well. So that's really interesting numbers to have there to see how much we're spending in terms of our power storage and everything like that. All right, so we're gonna hook this thing on to our very, very specific connector for the ship, which is right over here. And I am completely off. Ooh, they just sucked me right in. All right, so we're gonna connect right here. We're gonna recharge, and I should have did or done my hydrogen tanks. Is this it? Hold on. Let me find my groupings for my tanks. Hydrogen tanks. I think these are it, right? No. These are thrusters. I don't have it. Okay. Well, what am I talking about? All I need is just my one tank. It's at half. That's hydrogen. Which is this one right here. And I can just do stockpile on off. Right here. Right, now we connect, recharge, and we can stockpile this thing up with hydrogen. And we should have loads and loads of power left on this thing. But for now, what I really, really want to do is edit out the ship a little bit. And if we edit out the ship a little bit, it's probably just going to be the thrusters that needs to be edited a little bit for now. I feel like we need to edit other things too. So I think we have too much oxygen in our tank. So that's not going to depressurize all the way, unfortunately. Yeah, exactly. It's just going to waste a little bit. It's fine for now. Okay, so I think ultimately our goal might be to buy that freighter if we can. Down the line, at least. Let's just hope we could. But in order to do that, we are going to need a lot of credits. It was 118 million credits for that bad boy. So we're gonna have to do a lot of trading in order to get that amount. So I think one of the best ways to kind of get that amount is to constantly trade. I mean, by trading, I mean selling a load of stuff. These miner, or is it ingot selling economy basis? Because they're gonna be selling pretty much the same stuff, I would believe. And if we make enough of all these items to sell, we can transport them in our ships and sell it that way. Maybe. I don't know. That sounds like an idea, but it probably is the worst idea ever. But we're going to still buy some more ingots. And if we have money for platinum, I think we might have to buy a few more platinum. Especially if you want to go with more thruster components. Although I think we should be okay now. I want to save the money, but then I kind of want to make some more ion thrust, if anything. All right, I'm just going to buy 10 more for now. Okay, that should be okay. It shouldn't put a big dent in my pockets. I mean, we could make a lot of money doing the acquisitions or even hauling, as you see here. 4 million for hauling. Okay, so that might be a good way to do stuff. I don't know. But acquisitions we could definitely do. And it looks like not too much is left. But we could make a lot of money for selling uranium as well. That's pretty much like close to 3 hauling missions. That's going to take maybe like 20 minutes to 30 minutes to do. Depending. It's quite a long time to do a hauling, so I don't know about that. All right, we've done our trading, our I guess we call it daily trading. Although we did this a little later than usual. But time to head back to our current base. And actually, I didn't mention this previously, but I think I might get rid of this for parts, the truck, because nobody cares about rover building anymore, apparently. There was like very lack of interest in the last few episodes about the truck, so we can get rid of that thing. And it was useful, but not necessary, because I just took my ship centipede build, added the grinders, and went out and did some grinding for tons and tons of parts. I haven't tested out the tier 3 yet, although I did slap them on more recently. But if we are running out of parts, that is what we're going to use to gather those parts. And that's probably going to be like going to some of the camps, like Cheetah Camp or Simpsons Claim, things like that, to gather those parts with that piece there. Okay, so now let's go back to our large good ship. I think we should really get rid of this atmospheric thruster, especially when we're in Mars, we're in Earth. It was a little bit of a struggle to maintain altitude being flat like this. It would be nice if, I mean, we could do it with a few scripts or mods. Put this on a hinge so then we can place it downwards whenever we want to kind of be on this tilt here. So we could put it like right over there, and anytime we need to tilt the large grid ship to be more, I guess, not necessarily call it VTOL, but something close to that, where we could just bring it downwards. But we do need like the subgrid thruster mod or script to run in order to make that work. Otherwise, we gotta balance out our thrust override somehow. So that's an option, but I don't think we're gonna go that route. I think we're just gonna get rid of this. Based on how much hydrogen we didn't use, I feel safe to say we don't need this one. Or these, I should say. It's two of them, one back there and one back here. So the biggest piece now is how do we connect hydrogen to it, or do we use an ion thruster instead? So those are some of the questions there. So we could have definitely added a connection point somewhere. Actually, no, we can't. This is gonna be a little bit on the rough side. Interesting. Not a lot we could work with, actually, if we are gonna do another thruster, hydrogen thruster. So I think we have to swap it around. So the ion thrust should be here, and then it would be closer to what's freaking out on my body. It'll be closer to that. So let's just return. Let's just stock this elsewhere. All right, we're gonna put this in here, I think, or should we? I realize there's no openings on my ship to dump anything in terms of the cargo containers. So that's not a good sign. Where are my cargo containers? I need the openings for me to like dump stuff in there. So yeah, that's not good that I don't have that there. All right. So I know the only problem is my inventory management. I did put a lot of things on disassemble. Actually, no, I didn't. I took them all out, it looks like. So we should be okay. Hopefully. If I put this in here, I shouldn't really disassemble anything, right? Well, this is going to block it from doing that anyway. So we should be okay. Okay. So I think the best thing to do here is to change this out. So let's open this thing up really quick. Oh shoot. So actually no, this is fine. We're gonna have to grab this ion thruster. Did jump drives ever move like that? Or is that a mod I have in here that never remembered it was there. Shoot. That would have been nicer to be more exposed if it's going to rotate like that. Oh well, what are you going to do? Alright, ion thrust, I think, would be better suited to be placed right over here. So this is the downward one. And then we have an upwards one that's kind of in the way. So we're going to take this one and just move it down one block, which is going to be right over here. So that's the idea for this piece. And then that way we could put in iron or a conveyor junction right over here and throw in a hydrogen thruster here up for top or downwards. And then underneath it, it's going to be the opposite. So we just need to put a conveyor junction there. Well, we need parts. So we can open, actually, we can open this up first and then put the conveyor junction, so it'd be easier to see where our thruster is going to be. All right, there we go. Then we can add the hydrogen thrust over there, and we can add one right over there. Then we should be good to go. We could add a little spacing here we need to. And we'll add 2 hydrogen thrusts right there. And it looks like the weather is coming along. Don't miss it as I was out in space. That was nice to not have to deal with this crappy weather for a little bit. Alright, so this is one side only, but it's gonna do for now. We'll put that here and actually need to kind of turn these off and put it back on later. We need a block over here. Did I remove that block, or that was the thrust itself? That was the thruster itself. Okay, that's fine. So we'll just add that here. And kind of do the same. Oh, before we do that, let's just get the bottom one going. Right there. And I'm missing steel plates for whatever reasons. Temporary borrow from there. I'll get more later down the line. Alright, so we're done with one side, so we just gotta fix it up on the other side as well. Alright, so I think that's gonna do for our thrusters there. We do have to edit it out a little bit. Hopping in here, let's just put this off the connector really quick, and it's balancing a little bit, which is a little scary, but it looks like some thrusters are still on when I thought, oh no, I had hydrogen thrusters mainly on the grouping. So we're gonna have to fix that, huh? And we're gonna fix this because we kind of tied in the backwards thrusting with all the other ones, so that caused an issue at one point in time. So let's just do that. We'll do the brakes should just be the backwards ones. Oh, that's all the backwards ones. So that's okay. That's working out pretty good. We'll leave it as that. However, all the ion thrusts should be on right now. It shouldn't be off. So we turn on, and that's all the front. And then we turn all this on. All right, that's good. So we are less strenuous on the hydrogen, it looks like. But it's still not the greatest. So that's fine. All right, so that's done. We're good in that front. The other horrible spot in front is we need a survival kit in here just in case we come out and die. I mean, I'm not planning to, but it might happen. It probably will happen. But I think that requires me to stretch out the front a little bit, I I believe. It looks like it is going to be that case. Because where else we're going to put it? I would like to put a medical room, but that's an L shape, which is not going to be ideal. We could definitely put a survival kit in here once we make some more room for ourselves. So what if we just stretch out the front a little bit more forward a bit? And then we could add a survival kit in here. I think that would be our best bet, but even the survival kit is like a bit odd too, because our conveyor ports are on the side. So how's that gonna work? Well, again, we could also put another cargo container in the front too, or yeah, I think another cargo container or something like that to kind of connect to other cargo containers would be useful too, so I could dump stuff in there whenever necessary. So that's another thing. All right, so the unfortunate piece of this is that if I do all this, the seat's gotta go, and that's gonna reset all my groupings and everything like that. So, well, not my groupings, but my controls. But I mean, they're not sophisticated to do. But all right, so let's just do that. I think that is the way we're gonna go. So let's just get rid of all that we can in terms of the cockpit or bridge, which is all this glass and these platforms. Luckily, not too much going on here, so we'll just get rid of that. We'll get rid of this button, and we might have to get rid of this air vent, because that is the trusty O2H2 generator that houses the connection to our small cargo containers that's on the ship, I believe. I want to say yes. Yes. Okay, that worked. Okay. So that means it's a yes. All right. So what we do here is, we're going to change out the door a little bit too is the problem. And I'm not sure how we're going to do this to stretch it out a little bit more without making it too awkward. The doors are here. And if we put a conveyor right here, which would make sense, but we need conveyors kind of on both sides. And right now we do it on both sides. We can't because the door's in the way. So we have to get rid of the doors as well. Unfortunate. But we're going to do that. And that already kind of solves a little bit of our problem because we have conveyors right here. Now the problem, not conveyors, cargo containers right here, which is interesting because that's kind of, I was planning to do it this way. But one question is, it is connected to the O2H2 system that way. Okay. So that's fine. So I could throw in an air vent on one side. And then survival kit right here. And then on this side could be a conveyor or cargo connection. But it won't be covered right here unless I use a full block here instead. Or do we just extend it out just a tiny bit? Where survival kit would be on top of this piece here. Actually, I'm going to get rid of that for now. We're likely not going to leave the lights there. I think that's better. Or better bet. We'll keep it kind of connected like that. We could throw in more cargo containers if we really, really wanted to. Or just put in conveyor. I feel like we might as well just throw in a small cargo container right here since we have a spot for it. We'll do that. I don't even know we have enough materials for a survival kit. Probably not. So I'm going to throw the survival kit here. I think that should be okay. We need what? 3 medical? Yeah, 3 medical components. So 1, 2, 3. This is dismantling. We're not doing that. We'll do 3 right there, and that should be more than enough. Here's our survival kit. So then we can click on here to get what we need. And I guess we could just kind of cover all this up. I believe. We don't necessarily need it to be exposed. So either we cover it up or we use kind of like half blocks here. So we can kind of still get into this area if we need to. Alright, let's just use half blocks for now, which is kind of weird for placement. But I like the fact that I could still kind of go in here. I probably could just use panels instead. We work a lot better than that. Or than this. Actually, we shouldn't cover that up. And that should do it. So I wish I could put the panel on the outer side. But I can't because this piece here. But I think this should work okay. We could put a panel out here, I think, right? Nope, we can't. We still need to stretch it out a little bit more in order to make this work better. So the survival kit being here is not necessarily the best spot. So we might need to extend it out by 1 more. I'm just gonna say right over here maybe instead. Yeah, I think that's the way to go. And likely this is gonna have to go away as well. So that's just the way it's gonna work. But the pieces that I need here is what's gonna make it a little awkward. How do I make this work a little bit better? Because everything's more centralized in the middle. I mean, if we did a survival kit this way and then put an air vent right over here, that would make sense too. And that way we could still utilize this area here, I would hope, to kind of spawn if we use the half block. I don't know, would that work out? And then we put the air vent right over here. That's all connected, which is perfect. But how well is that going to work? So here's our air vent. Here's our survival kit. Now, how do we get into it is kind of the question. So, and I guess we could stretch out the neck piece like this. And that shouldn't be a problem at all. Let's just say it like that for now. We can get rid of this one. Full block instead. So I still want to be able to get in here if I need to. A little crevice. So half blocks would be the ideal spot right here for now. And okay, so we figure out from here. So the lighting piece probably right over here. What is that thing called? Inset light. So we're gonna throw one right over here. Right over here. So we are gonna stretch out the neck piece a little bit more. Not by much. Like so. And I guess from here we just gotta add the doors. So that might be a problem. Because the doors we were using the hatch doors, which does have a full block piece over there. So that's not great. Unless we can't do this because that's gonna cover it. We could do this, but that's gonna make our neck a little bit out there as well, unless we go with the sliding doors instead. then actually that doesn't work out either because it's covering all this other piece. So I guess our only option would really be, oop, to extend the neck piece just a tad bit again, which is really not what I wanted, but we'll see how this looks. I haven't really kind of gauged what it looks like at the moment, but it shouldn't be too bad, I hope. I'm gonna change this block out if I can to be this, so the outside still looks the same, but inside just gives us a little more space. Not by much, just a tiny bit. But that would just help out in terms of, you know, claustrophobia, if there is any claustrophobia in here. All right, so that gives us space to cargoes, which is awesome. We probably, honestly, yeah, actually, with this whole kind of we don't need this. Let's get rid of this. So we could shrink this a little bit instead of making it too long. We're gonna keep the survival kit right over here, because I think this should allow us to spawn a little bit right here, because that little extra spacing. And the O2, the air vent we'll put right against it as we had it previously. Okay, so now this part here now gets a little bit cramped, which is probably not the most ideal thing in the world, but should be okay. And this is the area where we round it out with our beak, I guess you can say. So a chair should be right here. So then that means if we put a chair there, we can't really go out too much to the side. I mean, not a big deal because it's not necessary for me to be there. All right, and then we got the windows left. So the windows were these slope block windows, I think. All right, so if we want to be able to see above, we could switch that out a little bit too. I mean, I don't think there is a window that can curve out here. Oh, it probably can. Yeah, this one right here. Can we open this up? Put all windows? Or does it not work that way? It would be nice. Do it that way. So we got windows here. And that actually worked out pretty well. So we have a better beak that's more exposed for a window in the bridge. And we could change this out a little bit if we need to. No, we're gonna leave it as that. We have our door. Now we just gotta put our seat. If we put a seat here, once again, we can't put anything on the sides or anything like that. So that's the problem. But not a significant problem. Do we want a seat or do we want the helm? I think if we did the helm, then we could easily walk around. But if we did a seat, I don't think we're gonna be able to walk around. Actually, no, we could. All right, so we'll do that. Rather sit down than stand in this case, but we'll do it that way. Now we have a better bridge where we can see above us. We can't see below us. Either way, we can't see below us because this thing covers it anyway. So should be fine. Can we see to the right of us on the bottom? Not very much. So I think we're okay there. I was thinking of adding a window here as well, but don't think that's going to be necessary, right? Yeah, probably not. Let's just leave it as is. Our ship is, I think, ready to go. Do I want to have atmosphere thrust here, because if not, I just have to move all this over. I feel like we could probably use more ion thrust more than anything. But I guess right now we're okay. I was hoping to add a little bit more hydrogen thrust so we can keep this thing afloat. We could have placed it right over here or here at some point in time, but we are now blocked by a battery next to the conveyor junction that's right over here. So that's not going to work out properly. And of course, there's other stuff here that's going to block it as well. So not much places where we could put another thruster. Actually, we could put one right over here, which is going to be right here, I think. No, that's not even a conveyor. That's not good. That's actually a oxygen tank. So that's not gonna work out at all. So let's just not even think about that anymore. And we got to fix this piece right over here. It looks like we stretched it out by not much at all. Maybe one. Because the one piece was here. Yeah, I think we only stretched out by one facing it this way. Which is not bad. And it's... How's it looking? No, we stretched out by two, it looks like. And now it's more of a gooseneck-ish kind of thing. Which is not... I'm okay with that. Not that much of a gooseneck. Gooseneck's a lot longer. But it does increase its size just a tiny bit more than what we had it before. So, but it gives a little bit of more definition as well. So there you go. So that's the finished product. Looking not too bad. So it's kind of almost similar to that somehow. But I'm liking this. This is not too crazy. And it works. Okay. Yeah, I stretched out by 2 blocks. All right. So one thing that we are missing is lights on the outside. And I don't see a good spot for spotlights. Except for right here. But I kind of don't want to put it there. Because that's going to be an awful spot for it. We could put it here. But that's also an awful spot. So not a lot of space where we can do all that. We could put it here by opening this up, but then we kind of lose that look and feel of the ship, which is not great. So where do we put the lights? Or do we even bother? I mean, we could put... I think we could put corner lights instead. And that will help a bit. Not a significant amount, but a bit. So corner lights are easier to do. So we could put corner lights even like right over here, I think. Nope. We could put it on the door. We could put it out in the front. We could put double lights in the front if we needed to. Actually, where's my double lights? Imagine putting interior lights right there. That'd be funny. Oh, searchlights. Panel lights. I forgot about panel lights. I could definitely use that. But yeah, we could add a corner light right over there. Which is not too bad. And do we add... I don't want to add panels just yet. I think corner lights hides things a little bit better. So I can do maybe one over here on the ground, or do we do 2? I think we do the double one again. We do up and down right there. That should be a pretty decent light over there. And we do that same thing right over here. But let me see if I could just get my tanks refilled. Okay, so I'm gonna add another piece of light right over here. This way. And that should do it. I mean, I don't think we need more than that, do we? I highly doubt it. Yeah, I don't think we need more than that. Do we want to add weapons now? And when we're talking about weapons, it's going to be turrets. And when we say turrets, with this ship specifically, it's likely going to be a small weapon, like an interior turret. Not even a Gatling, because we don't have it connected to our connectors. There is a way to do it, but we need to get rid of maybe a battery or two, which is just going to be a problem. Which I think our connector is going to be right over here, or connection port is going to be right over here, which is a problem itself. This battery, maybe underneath it, it's going to be a port. So this ship is kind of built out without weapons in mind, so it's just like, it may be an eyesore if we add in weapons and all that stuff. So I don't know yet. I mean, we could just ship evolution this thing a little bit if we have to. So we could just make it a little bit bigger, add the weapons and things like that. But I think that's going to be somewhat of a future thing to do. And I hope you guys enjoyed this episode. If you did, you know what to do. Like and subscribe, and also drop a comment down below. And of course, I'll see you guys next time. Bye.